1993 marked the beginning of Pete's domination of tennis. But at the end of 1994, life would take a concerning turn as coach Tim Gullikson would begin to have health issues.
In Sweden, he fainted in his room and banged up his face on a glass coffee table. His door was open and he was like there bleeding. Horrific scene. The second episode, he fainted in Munich at the Grand Slam Cup. Got some tests done on his heart, and they said, you know, he had kind of an enlarged heart. But they really didn't know what was going on.
In 1995, at the Australian Open, Tim's condition would take an alarming turn.
I was getting ready for my match, and then Tim fainted. They took him to the hospital, and they finally did a brain scan on him.
The decision was taken that he needed to leave immediately and get back and really get a full battery of tests and figure this thing out once and for all. They had a suspicion that there were tumors involved in the brain.
Pete kept it in. I mean, he was closer to him than anybody, and he kept it in. I don't know how he sort of got through that time.
We'd reached a pretty deep part of the tournament at this stage. It was quarterfinals were set, and Pete and I were to play. And Tim and Tom were leaving that morning. We were going to play a night match. So we went to the court, and I think we went to battle, but I think there was just sort of knowledge that there was a greater scenario, and we weren't going to battle any less for it.
I sort of dug this big hole and I battled back to win that fourth set. And after I won the fourth set, I just sort of internalized, you know, a week and a half of emotion and lost my composure.
He is in tears. Just look at that. He's been covering his face with his towel.
I would guess right now that he wants very badly to win this match for his coach.
You know, it's surreal to see an athlete just sort of break down like that really in front of the world in the middle of, you know, this incredible Grand Slam match.
My instant snap judgment was to try and lighten the mood and to bring him back into the arena and try and kind of let him know that, hey, we got to play. We're okay here. Let's just get through this.
Look at him.
You all right, Pete? We can do this tomorrow, you know? You know, it was a moment that brought him back to attention. Certainly changed the energy in the arena.
I think it was lighthearted, but I think I know Jim, you know, and Jim's one of the most competitive people I've ever been around. And I remember just this moment of just, you know, I got out of it and I started playing.
Another ace.
Game, Sampras.
It was the first time that Pete exposed his feelings to the public. People didn't know anything about this guy, this champion who is now the #1 player in the world.
6-7, 6-4, 6-3.
An emotionally spent Sampras would lose in the final to Andre Agassi. Tim Gullikson would be diagnosed with inoperable brain tumors. And Paul Annacone, who in Australia had helped Pete out in Tim's absence, would remain on as coach. The Agassi-Sampras rivalry would reach its pinnacle, with the two battling for titles and the #1 ranking.
Hopefully with Andre and myself, with all rivalry going and the way we play, can bring more and more people to the, you know, to the court.
Me and Pete is a great one. I mean, rivalries are what makes sports.
They played finals of Australia, finals of Palm Springs, finals of Key Biscayne, finals of Montreal.
Open court for the winner, and Sampras goes down to Agassi.
People that weren't tennis fans were all of a sudden tennis fans.
They were driving tennis, and popularity was epic for us at that point in time, and it was predicated on them, the oil versus water aspect of their rivalry.
Sampras would win his third consecutive Wimbledon, and in an amazing display, Agassi would not lose a single match the entire summer and went into the U.S. Open final against Pete 26-0.
When the two of them walked out on center court, it was literally like a heavyweight fight.
I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be 27 straight. Andre had numerous chances, and then it was 4-5 break point. It was the first break point Pete had.
That was kind of a quintessential moment, and that really set the stage for Pete saying, I'm not going anywhere.
Great players tend to rise above their opponents. Pete had a second option. He could pull his opponent down. We would play matches where we would have no rallies for the longest period of time. Next thing you know, you're serving 4-5, 30 all, and you're having to hit a backhand. You felt like you haven't hit a backhand in 20 minutes.
The guy just does not have a panic button. And there's just so many people that, you know, would say, oh, I can't wait till the big moment. I can't wait to get out there on center court. So many players say that, but I've never seen anyone that actually feels it more than Pete.
And when Pete won that match, his career went there, and Andre's career kind of went down. It was a big moment for Pete, and, you know, obviously it was a tough moment for Andre.